right, Coach.
Well, thank you, Lindsay. 21 years, huh? Wow. So when I have two people laughing at me because they know how old I feel when they see me on the ball field every day. But Coach speak, we're working hard. There's good attitude out there. I can't wait for the season to start. I think the big thing to remember with us is, you know, we start out with a heck of a schedule, and it continues through the whole year. So we're not just preparing for conference things. We prepare for the national championships, and that's what we do from August 25th on. And right now we're just basically dotting the I's and crossing the T's before the first test on Thursday night.
Ken, last week we were talking a little bit about the team, and you said this team has so much versatility of a lot of players that can play a lot of different positions, like some of your teams in the 90s, 2006, 2012. Just how helpful is that for this year, and just if you could expand on just a few of the players that could play just the numerous positions this year?
You know, you bring up a good point. I think if you go by the philosophy, especially in team sport, that not one injury will knock you out of any particular situation, especially when you have some pretty good athletes. I think the versatility that we have, and right here, Kristen can play middle infield, she can play outfield. Julie thinks she can pitch, thinks she can play shortstop, but the aspect of it, in all honesty, is if I ever had to use Julie in any positions, we wouldn't get hurt because of her athleticism. And you take a look around our whole team, and you have that type of mishmash that you can utilize in platoon defensively. And if you can have that flexibility to platoon defensively, then your offense must be pretty good. So we're banking on a lot of athleticism. We're banking on a lot of speed. And the one thing, or actually the two things that we constantly work on in preseason is our base running and our defense. And right now I feel very comfortable with those two areas. And now it's about timely hitting and making sure we're keeping the other teams at zero as long as possible to give our offense the opportunity. So, but I like our flexibility. I like our versatility.
Coach, as you mentioned, you typically schedule strong competition to start out the season. Why is that you like to schedule them right off the bat?
You know, it's I don't know any different. Like I said, we're trying to win a national championship, so we actually, the only thing we do differently than anybody else maybe is we don't take a look at the team name that we're scheduling. We take a look at their pitching staffs. And if you take a look over the last probably 21 years, you'll take a look at the teams we faced had pitching staffs that earn run averages were typically in the top 20, 25%. The polls are popularity polls. The RPI at the end of the year is a combination of things, but it's the wins against those quality opponents and preparation for facing the best. I don't think if you get to the end of the year that there's a pitching staff that's intimidated us, you know, since I've been here, because we've seen the best of the best. So I think we do a little bit more in-house homework than maybe you just take a look at what the media puts out as a top 30 or top 40, and there's a little bit more that goes into it, and I think we've done a good job with that.
This question is for Kristen or Julie. What really impresses you from what you've seen out of the team in practice so far that's really getting you excited for the season?
You go first, and then you go second. That's good coaching.
What really impresses me so far is that our team unity, the bond that we have had, not necessarily on the field coming together communication-wise, but also off the field. This is the closest that I've felt with a group of 25 girls since I've been here in 4 years.
Going off of Julie, it is also for me, the bond is just incredible. It's definitely better than what I've had in the past 3 years, or even like playing before my college career. It's just a really good bond, and it's helping us on the field because we're able to pick each other up. Like if someone's having a bad day, it's like, oh, come on, you can do it. And we're able to just be there for each other on the field, and it actually is bringing out the versatility of everything. So it's like no one's really being selfish right now, and being able to play different positions and not being like, oh, well, I want to play here. Well, no, it's better for the team if you're here. And everyone's with that bond. Everyone has each other's back to be able to do that and play anywhere that's going to benefit for the team.
You know, when you hear them both talk about that they feel the best that they've ever felt on camaraderie, et cetera, you hear that every year from seniors, don't you? Well, there's a reason for that. That's a process. And freshmen are just getting comfortable in their own skin, and they're worried about a lot of things. And then sophomores are trying to finally get to playing time and get good. And then finally, when you're a junior, you can hopefully get great. And then when you're a senior, you're mature, 22 years old. And then the aspect of they're more comfortable in their skin as seniors and juniors than you are as freshmen and sophomores. So it's good for me to hear these type of things. I mean, the progressions and the development have occurred, and these two guys are leaders in what they do on the ball field, and they're leaders in what they can do off the field too. And it's still a process. You know, we've got so much pressure that we put on 18 to 22-year-old people, whether it's male sports or female sports. It's still player development. You know, it's still the minor leagues. And these guys have a chance to go on beyond that, and very proud of what they're doing, both on the field and off the field right now.
Julie, what does it mean to you to be on that watch list for Player of the Year? That's an incredible honor.
I kind of take it with a grain of salt, basically, because I think that is a great opportunity, but that's not really why I'm here this year. Like, I'm just trying to do the best that I can for my team, and whether that means sacrificing myself to move a runner or do this or do that, like, I don't really, not that I necessarily don't care about that, but that's not my main focus, anything right now.
Julie and Kristen, you guys have a lot of freshmen on this year's squad. They outnumber you guys as seniors and upperclassmen. What have the two of you been doing to get those underclassmen, those freshmen, used to being in the college atmosphere, teaching them about the game, all that kind of stuff?
I think every day I take a different freshman under my wing, and I'm always like, here's what you can do. Like, this is a learning opportunity. Come, this is what I've been taught since I was a freshman, and I basically just try to pass it along the lines. But I don't necessarily think of some of them as freshmen, because some of them came in and we got so close right away to where they're my best friends now, and I don't really see the 18 to 22-year-old age gap, because I just see us as ball players.
For me, I just try to teach them as well what I've learned my 3 years here. And I really just try to get them to realize, like, it's okay to ask questions, and it's okay to tell somebody that's older than you that they're doing something wrong or they need to pick their head up or something, because I don't want them to be classified as like a freshman. Like, we're all one team, and I think that's very important to get them at a young age to realize that they shouldn't classify themselves as a freshman, that just because they're a freshman, they can't do something or something like that.
Any other questions?
Ken, you were inducted into the USA Softball Hall of Fame back in November. What did that honor mean to you personally, you know, as your career is stretched into its 21st season with USF this year?
I think that if you know me and you've been around me, it's, right? It's just like, okay, thanks. I got lucky, in all honesty. Surrounded by good teammates when I played, and was on some really good teams when I played. And then when I got involved in coaching with the USA program and the collegiate programs, I got lucky again that I had really good coaches around me. And not only did I have good coaches, I had good players. You know, if I don't have good players at the University of South Florida, then I don't get recognized to go to coach the other areas. And then if you don't have good programs to be in, then you're not successful. So it was really a culmination of a lot of things that came together. I just happened to be in an intersection of all the circles that were going on. But it started here at South Florida when Robin Roberts chose me to play here and play baseball here. And, you know, a couple of coaches, Jeff Davis and Kevin Moronic, had tremendous influence on that aspect of what goes on. And we're doing the same thing right now in softball that we were doing in baseball back in 1982 when we got to the NCAA tournament for the first time. It's a successful formula. It's about people, you know, and communication and all that. I just happen to be a link to the past here, but that award is it's like almost embarrassing, to tell you the truth. You know, you never start out to get those type of things. It just, I think over time, that if you've maintained a level of decency, sometimes the wins happen. You know, but I've never told these guys, and you can get them off to the side, that they have to win. It's not what we talk about. We talk about having a flawless practice. And the scoreboard will take care of itself. A game day is easy, man. It's the practices that, you know, we try to be as flawless as possible. And, you know, one time we thought we had a flawless practice. We were wrong, you know. So I don't think you're ever satisfied. And those type of things, in all honesty, like I said, they're a real pain in the butt because it's not what you're trying to do. You try to win team championships, and all those things are nice, but it's like, okay, let's move on, you know. And then Mark Harlan said, you know, we're going to do something for you at halftime of a football game. I'm like, man, jeez, I got to clean the pool today. You know, I mean, this guy, I got things to do. I got to get done before practice on Monday. So I'm a little bit different.
For Julie and Kristen, just from what you guys have seen from the end of last season to now, how's the team grown and improved the most? In what area?
I think we've grown in the aspect of, like, we're just out there and ready to play. We're not worried about really anything. Like, we were so excited for the season to start because we just want to be out there and play. And it's just, having the bond that we have, it's just making being out there a lot of fun. And I feel like last year towards the end of the season, the fun aspect maybe got away from us a little bit. And this year, with that bond that we do have, I feel like having fun is going to be what this season involves. So I think it's going to make it like a great season for us.
I think you've got some great experience here where you're one game away from going to Super Regionals in their freshman year. You know, both players have done very well in crucial situations for a couple of reasons. I think the big one is, number one, they've got great game experience. They got a lot of games, these two guys, you know, since freshman year. But I think if you ask them, probably the biggest powerful thing that they've gone through and they realize is that there's respect and love from the top of the coaching staff that, you know, you're going to go to our game and you're going to learn to fail. That's what baseball and softball does. It rewards merit, but it teaches you how to fail. And these guys have done a phenomenal job of maturing in the sense of, okay, that at-bat's done or that play is over and let's move on. And that's rare for young guys to do it. And now for them to continue to grow in that area and show their teammates success is over time in our sport. That's been a big deal for these guys' successes.
Coach, you talk about this time of year, just goals of going to the championship and all that and having a winning record. But what is it about this team that really sets it apart from years past? They talked about bond, but is there anything else that really sets it apart from years past?
I'll let you know in May. You know, at this point, we're starting off the way we should start off. So I think years of experience tell you that you're either prepared to start a season or you're not prepared to start a season. So your point is very valid. As far as the end result and the predictability of what goes on, we have 56 games on our schedule. If you ask me what our record's going to be, I'm going to tell you 56-0. There's not one game we're going out there to think we're not going to win. You know, and then the rhetorical statement would be, well, what if you drop the first one? Well, then we're 55-1. You know, I mean, that's the approach and the relentless approach to success that I'm hoping that gets passed on. I know it has, okay? And it's not just to these two guys, but it's to people like Aston Donovan, Lauren Evans, Morgan Gross, Mia Fung. All those players have bought into a system, but we want them to be creative within that system. We're teachers. The coaches are teachers. These guys are the players. They're the productivity level. They're street-level bureaucrats where it gets done. And for them to feel that confident, where they have that leeway to be creative and not get overcoached, I think is a big, big deal. So I'm pretty proud of that fact.
And then, again, playing Michigan and Florida, I know you guys have done this in years past, but playing these sorts of teams really has to, especially year after year, really must help you guys out a ton and sensing that kind of competition as you go on through the rest of the season.
I agree with you. I think maybe as a freshman, you go out there and say, oh, my God, I just watched that team on TV 2 months ago when I was graduating. Now, as a junior and senior, it's like, yeah, we got Michigan and Florida. You know, I mean, who shows up that day right now has got a great chance to win. So I agree with you that builds a callus on fear, that builds a callus on the unknown. When you play teams like that day in and day out, that's why we do it. You know, this is a I challenge anybody to take a look at the schedule that programs put together. This is a good one, but you got to have the horses to run the wagon against that schedule. If you don't have them, it's just a miserable, miserable year. But we've been very fortunate.
All right, so we have time for today. Thanks, Coach. Thanks, Julie, Kristen.
Thank you.